Got
Well,
it.
hello, hello.
Hey, nice to meet you. But
This is Viet, and we both studied at the University of Lincoln in the
yeah.
School of Computer Science. He's a great guy.
Oh, thank
And also worked in the ICT of the University of Lincoln. So
you. Yeah.
there's been a lot of interaction there. So you studied games computing, right?
Yes. This is what I'm starting for, but I haven't finished it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for the past yeah. So before he actually packed his bag, left the
Mm.
UK and went to Denmark.
Yeah. Just been here for 3 months.
So that's a brief introduction, but why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Viet. I'm from Vietnam. Uh, my interest in the computer science. Right now, I'm working at Uber as a
Hmm,
software engineer.
right.
That basically everything about me.
So let's start with how did you because well, one thing you might have missed in the introduction is you're also into gaming, right?
Yeah.
And gaming development, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's that kind of and dilemma. Do you know when you really like to playing video games, but
Yeah.
when you get into starting it, you start to hate it. When you get into game development, you
Mm,
start to playing video games because you know how it is made and
yeah,
how hard it is to make the games.
yeah,
So it's a dilemma for every game student.
yeah,
So yeah, for me it's a fun experience. I got into contact with many great people, great professors, but I don't think it's a good fit for me. So I left the course
yeah.
and get and working on something else.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so before you actually got into the master's program, were you into game development before?
No, I'm just really like playing video games. So I thought
Mm,
I thought at the time that getting a master degree in game development would be cool. I can
mm,
make games, but
yeah.
it's not the realities.
Mm,
Uh, it's very hard to make a games. Before I get into master, I work as a software engineer doing mostly um machine learning and deep learning stuff, image recognitions,
right. Back in
take,
Vietnam.
yeah, back in Vietnam. I'm mostly doing some computer visions jobs. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is
So
really cool.
yeah, which is very hot at the times. So I, yeah,
And this was in like between 2017 to 2021.
yeah, it's around that time before I went for a master degree in the UK. Yeah.
All right. So talk me through how did you have interest? How did you get into computer programming, all this stuff?
Yeah, as you know, I'm really like playing video games. And when I was in high school, I really good at math. So I think computer science would be a good fit for me when I get into universities. So
Right.
I choose to go with
Mm.
computer science. But my life is a mess. I'll tell you. When I got into universities, I didn't pass at the first exams.
Mm.
I failed the first exam
Mm.
for the computer science. So I choose a another
University.
no, in the same university but another majors. I'm doing electronics,
Right,
uh
right, yeah.
electronic stuff.
Mm.
I was working with Arduino's microcontrollers, electronics, and like electromagnetic fields, something like that.
Yeah,
Digital signal processing
yeah.
related to 5G, 4Gs. Yes. So I was doing that,
Mm.
but I still have some interest in computer science. So I decided to learn to pick up machine learning and deep learning by myself.
Right.
I learned from. Do you know the course from Andrew?
Andrew NG, Andrew
Yeah,
N.
MG. Yeah,
Yeah,
Andrew MG from Coursera's.
yeah.
Yeah. He teaches a course on machine learning, very great stuff. So I learned it by myself. After that, I got a job in the market in Vietnam, just learning stuff by myself. So yeah, it's a very
Wow.
good
How
journey.
how long ago did you learn this stuff?
I learned it for 2 years before I graduate from universities. I have that online course and I have learned CS 231. Do you know CS
From
231?
Stanford.
Yeah, from Stanford also. I think you know that's called they teach a lot of we are very lucky that we are in the era of the internet, right? We have everything on the internet. It's very easy to access the content,
Yeah.
the score, the syllables,
Hmm.
yeah, the lectures. So we are very lucky in the time of internet. We can learn everything by ourselves.
Yeah.
Even my majors in universities is electronics. I can
Yeah.
still learn uh, computer science stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Okay.
yeah, really cool. So, sorry, my phone is going off. Let me just turn it off. All right. So, initially you wanted to study computer science, right? But
Yeah, initially I want to, but it's got unlucky for the exams.
yeah,
Yeah. It's very competitive at the time of every student at the time want to get into computer science.
yeah,
So yeah, so I failed it and got another majors in electronics.
yeah.
Even though it's a great time, I have
Mm,
learned, some low level stuff from the computer architectures, computer networking. So I can have like no level from the basic from the CPUs upward, so
mm.
I can it's still a helpful knowledge until now. So
Absolutely, I agree. I agree because computer science, is all built on electrical.
yes, electric signals. Yeah.
Yeah, because even in our masters, we still had to do something like around signal processing and all those kind of things.
Yeah, computer visions, some stuff like that. Yes, agree.
So, you strike me as someone who just you like to explore, right? You just like to
Yeah,
do things that you think are cool.
yeah, it's a cool thing to do. Is it?
So, you now you've been you're doing your machine learning stuff
Mm-hmm.
back in Vietnam, and I'm guessing you did this Andrew Ang course. Is it
Yeah.
Ang? How you pronounce it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know to be sure, but his called Andrew Angie's. He's very popular, so you probably know him. Yeah.
So yeah, so you learned this stuff, which is you learned it during your undergraduate, right?
Yeah, during my undergraduate back in Vietnam.
Which was really really talk me through how long is typically university in Vietnam for electrical electronic or bachelor?
Uh, for university in Vietnam, it lasts for 5 years. Uh, so yeah, it's lasts for 5 years. But now it has been shortened to 4.5 years. So basically, we can short it for half a years. But in university now they have an option to get a master combined with the bachelor,
Ah,
so they can still choose to study 5 years and get both of them at the same time.
wow.
For me around that time I can just get one bachelor degree for 5 years.
Yeah.
But now the time is different. Universities have different policies for
Hmm,
students. They
hmm.
can choose between getting one degrees or both of them at the same time.
Cool. So now, year two was when you started learning this machine learning stuff, right?
So 2 year before I graduate, so it's around
Year
my
three.
third, yeah, my third years of universities.
What made you, because you're learning this electrical electronics engineering stuff. What made
Yeah,
you switch?
yeah. My first interest into machine learning stuff is a project I got from my supervisor at school. Um, he wanted me to build a software for, do you know, license plate recognitions? Uh, yeah, they have a car and a plate in the front. You have to detect it and recognize the character on the plate. So that the first project that I got into. It's very basic programs. It's just using OpenCV, you know. Yeah, we have some image processing to detect the plate. For the character, I just use a very simple machine learning. It's called SVMs. Do you know
Support vector
SVM?
machines, yeah.
Yeah, support vector machines. It's correct. It's a machine learning, very simple models. It just it's very intriguing because at the time I didn't know anything about machine learning. I didn't know that a machine can learn to recognize the characters. So it's very interesting to learn into that stuff.
So after the project, you basically fell in love with the field of machine learning.
Yes, yeah, it's very amazing, isn't it?
Mm, it
Yeah,
is.
when you can tell a program to understand a
Mm.
characters from an image. Uh, Imagine how many if and l you have to write to just recognize that one character, right?
Which brings me to the question, like, you okay, now you found your true love, which is AI, you know,
Yeah, no, that that
okay,
a short time interest.
okay.
For you because if you got into AI and thing, you will definitely face some struggle with data, right? You have to gather a lot of data. You have to have a powerful machine with expensive GPUs. So that got me really like hate the the AI stuff when I have to collect data. When the problem don't have the data, you have to spend a lot of time annotate the image, and yeah, that really crazy is when I got into AI. So
Yeah.
after 3 years working in Vietnam, I decided to uh, go into went to the UK and take a master with a different majors, game development. You know, yeah, at the time I really hate AI because I don't know where can I get a powerful GPUs, a powerful machines to train my models.
Mm.
So it's
And
it's
even if
it's,
you got
it's
the G,
amazing, but
sorry, go on.
it's no worries. It's amazing, but it's for a big company, big things. It's not for like our typical guys just want to have interest and explore. Yeah.
Right. Even if you do have, get the GPU, they're pretty expensive, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very expensive at the time, and you just went for work and spend like 3 months of your salary just to get one. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so I can plug this here, right? And I don't mean to, you know, I did my research was in my research project was in AI. And
Mm-hmm.
I had to use, I had to find number one data, right? Number
Yes,
two
number
was
one day.
number two was the machine that will actually
Yes.
train it.
Yeah.
So, and I had to use this platform, Colab.
Collab, yes. And collab is very limited. You can just train for 12 hours and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it was really frustrating, that research project.
Yeah.
It was, my heart was in my mouth because you run it thinking it was running, then you come
Yeah.
back later and discover nothing was running.
Yes. Yeah.
And you
So
have
that's why I
deadlines
hate it.
to meet.
Yeah.
So it's really
It's
cool. Now, sorry, go on. You want to say something?
yeah, it's very frustrated. I just want to emphasize. Yeah.
So now you got into this company doing AI. Would you like to talk about what you did within that company?
Yeah. My company at that time is a outsourcing company. So we have project from outside company. They have some small component of the system.
Right.
They can outsource it to our company in Vietnam for our development. So
Right.
it's like working on small component only.
Mm.
We it's like a labor work, I believe, because we need the data, right? And
Mhm.
they don't want to spend time annotating the data in this expensive way. So they outsourcing to a company in Vietnam, which is cheap.
Ah.
You know, in Vietnam, the labor cost is very cheap. You can outsource your project into some software company in Vietnam, and you can
Mm.
get a model, which is you need some time for annotating, trainings, and yeah, outsourcing is a great choice in Vietnam because also in Vietnam we have many great guy. We have like people very good at math, so they really interested in machine learning also. So
Right.
uh, a lot of resource in Vietnam, so they try to outsourcing stuff in Vietnam. My job around the time is like just collecting data, annotate it, and train it, and ship it for our customer. That's it.
Ah, that must have been, I've seen lots of data, annotating. It became
Yeah,
boring at a
for
point, right?
some for some project, I just synthesize. You know, I got the target objects, I synthesize it on different background and generate the label by scripts. You know, there's some technical augmentations you might know, right? Yeah, you have augmentation. I can paste some objects of us on a different background and keep it training. You can get your data set bigger and bigger, so you can transform many times. So for some time, I still use the techniques for the project. It's work when you don't have a lot of resource, time, and labor.
Hmm, that's
Yeah.
really cool. So so your job revolved around not more around cleaning data before
Yeah,
cleaning data in Vietnam
yeah.
back
Getting
then.
data, actually the whole process, I think.
Oh, you trained models too back then.
Yeah, cleaning data,
Hmm.
annotate it, validate it, training on it, and to the end product is the model. You ship
Really?
the end product is the model,
So
the trained model.
wow.
Yeah. So the whole process, they just want to get the end model and do some tests on the test data set. If it passed the test data test, we are good to go.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. And and what was like your what kind of models did you use back then?
I was mainly working on the computer vision, so I mostly work with object detections. My most proud projects is a project with face detections. But the thing is, face detection is very popular. You can get a face detection model everywhere.
Right.
But this project, you have to specialize that face detection model into Windows platform. You have to run it into the operating system level.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a very tricky project, right? The
Hmm.
thing is, you can have object detections. You
Hmm.
can run it on your machine. You can. Sorry about that.
No, no, it's all right, sir.
Yeah, you can run it on your machine, but the customer want to run it on a operating system level, which is it will start at the time your computer starts.
Hmm.
It's like tracking your customer, the person that using the laptop. They want to have a program at, sitting in the background, just monitoring the
Employee?
maybe. but that the project they want to deploy it in a operating system level. It's a very challenging project. We have to test a lot on that. Yeah, it's some of the things that I really proud of at the time.
Yeah.
Beside the work with labeling
And annotating data.
Yeah, annotating data.
So you not only number one, clean data, augment data, sometimes analyze data.
Analyze, yes.
Sometimes you have to train the model.
Yeah.
And then you had to program to put it on a system level.
Oh yeah, deployment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you were doing those facial detection, developing those facial detection models, which model was like your favorite,
At the time I was using OpenCV because they train it with C++. So it's fast, it's light, it's small, so you can deploy it. Although the accuracy is not so good, the precision is not so good, but it's fast and small. So it's my favorite with the face detections model, OpenCV model. They train it already. I just get the weights.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to get, the weights.
Yeah, that's the main things.
Yeah. So now you're in the UK, right? You've left your AI life behind.
Yeah, I left AI life behind and went to the UK with the hope that I will get into a new landscape of game development. After 1 year, I left that landscape and went to here in Denmark, working for Uber as a DevOps.
DevOps.
Yeah, DevOps of positions. Before I used to work with Python a lot to train model, but now I need to work with Golang, which is a completely different type of programming language. Python is dynamic, it's easy to work with, but Golang is static. You have to hide it, and it will go to binary, even though it's very fast. It's a lot of boilerplate to
do something simple, right?
Yeah, to do something simple, you have to put a lot of effort compared to Python.
Python, yeah.
Yeah.
So, before we actually go about talking about Uber, right? What's like the what would you say was the biggest misconception for UK university for you?
Misconception for me,
or was it the way you expected? Let's start there.
At first, I didn't expect anything about universities. I just expect about the course because I don't really care so much about the which university I go for. I just go for the course and the module they have. The module that got me really interested during the time in the UK was the VR and AR stuff. Yeah, it's very new technologies, and we all talk about metaverse and things like that, right? At the time, Facebook that changed their company name to Meta is very hot at the time, so I really care much about the VR and AR stuff. Yeah, but during the course, the VR and AR stuff is very introductory, so it's not at the level that I expected, but it's still new and exciting, so it's still good.
You had like, did you feel like the courses could have been more advanced when it comes to the AI stuff we did, right? Yeah.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like the courses were a little bit too simple for you when it comes to the AI? Because you already have this experience, right?
Yeah. the course of mine, we have some optional module, right? We have machine learning and advanced cloud computing. I have thought about that, but yeah, I try to avoid machine learning because I know I know it will be a project with a lot of data collections and training stuff. So I avoid to pick that. So I go with cloud computing at the time. You know, I already work in that for 3 years, so I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't want to get back into that
yeah,
anyway. So I try to avoid that. But now I'm happy with the current state.
yeah.
I I get into something I can do without relying on expensive
Machine and
machine
data.
and datas. You can work freely with your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not worried about, oh, my machine is not running, it's not learning,
Yeah.
or do I have
Yeah.
the right data? You know, or is
Even
it mhm.
yeah, even the output of your model is frustrated because sometimes when you train a model, the loss didn't come, didn't go down. It's go completely random.
Yeah, you just go up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
like, what's happening?
what happening? Everybody don't know what happening with the models, and you cannot explain it. This is the most frustrated part. Yeah, when your customer asks you why your model is not working on this specific case and why is it not working on that specific case, I don't know. We need to train it because the model don't know about it. So that's it.
Yeah. So yeah. So at what point were you like, you know what, I'm tired of this game's computing, and you started looking at, alternatives?
Uh, maybe at the time that I got into the second interview with Uber because
Right.
because I can see the opportunities to jump into another field when if I got that it's a gamble, you know. If you
Mm.
fail the interview, that would be a disaster for
Yes,
you.
yes.
You have to left your degrees and you don't have a job. That would be, but I would say that I'm very lucky at the time when I when I got a job at the time. But let's say let not talk about my degrees because I love it already.
Yeah, while you were here, did you have like a favorite lecturer or something?
I was here because the modules with AI, you know.
Who?
I, sorry, so can you
You
repeat
said the
the
module with who? Wait.
no, the module about VR and AR
Okay,
stuff
okay, VR and AR.
because I really interested in it at the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so now let's talk about your job at Uber, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about it from the very first beginning.
Mm,
How did you hear about this opportunity, first of all?
at, uh, around that time, I just apply randomly. To be honest, I search every positions with the graduate title on it. So I apply for almost anything I can see on my screens. I just click on the job title, didn't read about the description, send my CV over, and I got very lucky with the response from Uber, and we had a interview, just 15 minutes, and she sent me the coding questions, so I just finished it and sent it back. So that's history from that point.
you know, so okay, so let's talk about it. You were looking for jobs on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn job.
Yeah, LinkedIn and Indeed. Uh,
Indeed.
Indeed also and LinkedIn. That the two main platform that I use for looking for a job. Yeah.
So you were looking more like graduate software engineer roles.
Yeah, I just put the graduate software engineering and don't care about the position, don't care about the locations.
Yeah.
I'm fine with everything. Just
Yeah.
give me a job. Yeah, at the time, I really just care more about the job, not about the positions.
Now, when you talk about you now had an interview with this recruiter, right?
Yeah.
And talk me through what was the conversation like?
It's very friendly. She very friendly, and we just talk about what I have done in the past. What is my strength? Why am I feel that I'm the good person for these positions?
Mm,
So they ask some general question about myself and why am I here?
mm,
Yeah, it's some general question only. This is the beginning of the process. After that, we have some more technical interviews with some of my current colleagues.
mm,
I still met them in this office,
mm.
but it's more about coding on the editors. You don't have any environment to run on, but yeah, it's on the later stage.
Mm. So yeah, okay. So let's take it one after the other, right? First, you had this phone interview with a
Mm.
recruiter, right?
Yeah,
Oh, let's start. Let me start from the very first beginning. You were just applying for graduate software engineering roles.
yeah,
Then Uber was like, "Yeah, we're interested in this guy,"
yeah,
and the recruiter called you.
yes,
You had a 50 minutes like conversation with this recruiter,
yeah,
and then she sent you a technical, like a coding test on data structures and algorithms.
yeah, yeah.
What platform did you have to use to do that?
Uh, I don't really remember, but it's not lead code.
It's not leak code.
It's
HackerRank?
it's not hackering. Also, is do you know any coding platform? Coding interview platform. Let me looking for some typical names.
Mm.
Uh, it's called. It's not hackering. Mm. Code Signal.
Code Signal? Okay.
Yes, it code signal for Uber because I think they have a contract with code signal, so they use it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter as long as you know what you're doing. The platform doesn't matter, right?
Yes,
So,
yes, right, yeah.
so talk me through it. At this point, how long have you been preparing for the data structures and algorithms?
Actually, I don't spend much time preparing because I was learning game development, right? Uh, so I don't actually prepare much, but it's like my hobby. So I still doing data structure and algorithm during my free time. So it's like a long journey. It's not like a preparation. It's just my interest. So I still doing it during my spare time. So yeah, I don't have to spend so much time preparing.
How long ago did you start this data structures and algorithms thing where you just practice it?
Yeah. I think I got into lead code like a years ago.
Really?
Yeah, years ago, and I just take one course on data structure and algorithm
8 years.
from
8 years ago.
no no 1 year 1 years
One
ago.
1 year. Okay. And this was during the
Yes,
master's program.
yes, yeah.
Mm.
I don't have interest in games, so I just spend my time on different things that I love to work on.
Yeah.
My life is my life is very mess because is involved in a lot of things that I have tried, but I think it's normal for people. You have to try to know
what
your
you like, yeah.
you want to do on, or at least when you try and you don't like it, you know that you don't like to do that thing.
Yeah.
It's still a good stuff.
So you tried a lot of things, right?
Yeah, I have tried a lot of things and come up with where I am now.
I like your story, to be honest. I like it. I like people trying stuff out. It doesn't work. They try, it's
Yeah,
really fun.
yeah, it's pretty fun when you actually find something you can love to work with your life.
Mm. Now, what most people don't understand is the recruitment person
Yeah.
is most likely not a technical person, right? They are most likely humanities major, or an art student or English. So how did you present yourself? How did you present your CV for this person to think, oh, this person is a good fit for our company? Did you have any particular tips?
Uh,
Wait, is my assessment correct that most HR people are not technical people?
oh yes, yes. I think I just got lucky at the time because they want some person that don't have any experience. They don't require any experience, so yeah, so they choose to go with some applications, and I was the one that passed. My city is very simple. I
Mm.
just got experience before my doing my master degree in the UK, and that's it.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Your story is inspiring.
Yeah,
Before this might, because I'm not on the pro plan, my
yeah,
Zoom would cut off in a minute, and if it
yeah,
does, I'll call you back so that conclude this
yeah.
conversation.
Sorry for the short, but I think I'll have to do something after this.
Oh,
So yeah.
okay.
uh if this is we can arrange another time, but I think we can talk more on the phone over. Is it okay? Because
Right. So I just finished talking with Viet, and well, his actual name is Doc, DUC, but we call him Viet because for weird reasons. Anyways, it's part of his name, but that's his surname. Anyways, I finished my conversation with Doc, and we couldn't continue the conversation because in Denmark, once it's past a certain time, you can't talk loudly. So his neighbors came knocking at his door that he was making noise. So yeah, we had to cut the interview short. So I had to call him on phone, not Zoom. You know, yeah, but he's a great guy. So one of the follow up questions I asked him on phone was number one, what data structures and algorithms course did he take? He said he took the MIT 6006 course. Okay, and then yeah. So and then he took the MIT 16006, and I asked him to talk me through his recruitment process. He said there were three stages, right? One was the recruiter call. The second was the coding interview, and third is the behavioral. Now the recruitment call was with a recruiter who's most likely not a tech person. It's just that person will just try and vet you and ensure you're a real person, ensure you're confident before they present you to the coding interview. So yeah, do that. So once that person is done vetting, they will now send him a coding test. So that was what he did. In the coding section of this thing, of the interview process, there were three stages. Oh, no, 4 stages, he told me. There were 4 stages with, he said, 7 different people. Now, if you don't know what that means, let me break it down for you. The first coding test he did, right, was just like a textbook assignment to go and do it, data structures and algorithms. And he said they used a platform called I think he said it. I can't remember the name now, but he said it. They used the platform, and that platform was what they used. After he passed that, he had to do pair programming 3 times. He had to do pair programming 3 times. Okay, and he said the questions, most of the questions he got were on graphs and loops, which is arrays, right? And he he said he didn't prepare that much for these interviews because he had already been used to solving data structures and algorithm problems since like 6 months before the interview. So the coding interview, he said what's important is explain your thought process, not necessarily completing the code. Once you can communicate what you're doing, how you're solving it, or how you're going to solve it, then that's a better chance than you actually going ahead to solve it. And the reason being, and this is my theory, the reason being, you are going to be working in a team. Okay, your code doesn't necessarily have to be correct, but you need to be able to explain your ideas to your team members so that they know what. So if you're not able to do that, it will create problems within the team. So that's that. And then, so he has to do that pair programming process 3 times. Okay, and after he has scaled through that, he had to do a behavioral interview. And this is where they asked him what has he done in the past, what is he interested in doing, things about him personally. And this is where I recommend using the STAR approach to answer questions. Okay, so if you don't know what that is, look at it. There is the preferred method of answering behavioral interview questions. And so from the process of for process of the initial interview to hiring, it took him 2 months, 2 full months. And the reason was, he told me that he was ecstatic when he got the offer, because at this point he already hated the games computing. He was tired of it, the games computing. So he was faced with some dilemma about visa issues. So when he now got the offer, that his mind is at rest, he didn't have to worry about visa and all of that. And the Uber people, they paid him really well. They gave him a budget for relocation, for home furniture, things like that, just for him to come over to Denmark. His Uber office is in Denmark. Okay. And then one thing he told me about Denmark is the cost of living is extremely high. Even though the salary was nice, he said even though the salary, he said the cost of living is high and the taxes are really high. So, but even at that, he's still able to save, and he'll be taking trips next month. So even though everything is high, but he's well compensated. That's what the point I'm trying to get at. So yeah, that's it. Cheers, guys. So yeah, it's been Viet is a great guy. He's willing to help, things like that. Yeah, he's a great guy. It's a great guy. So cheers, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. See you next time.